All right. Saturday. Yesterday was Friday the 13th. Today is, well, what the heck is it? Valentine's Day. All right, gentlemen. We don't do all that lovey dovey stuff. We get to work. And by work, I mean reading this next two chapters. Um, I do feel a little sick. I'm not using that as an excuse, but just want you guys to know that if I do, let's just say if I do go quiet for a second, well, I wouldn't say, but for a moment, it's probably because I'm hurling out whatever I just ate a few hours ago. Well, I had cheeseburgers. I'll be honest, I had cheeseburgers, and they're not sitting right for me. But I digress. Just know that if that happens, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna come back. Pizza. I like that. How you doing? Remotivated twin. Hmm. All right, that's a name right there. Uh, I'm just letting people know right now that I'm live. Oh my gosh, give me a second. But how's today been, y'all? How's today been? Cause mine has been pretty okay, pretty chill. Other than studying and all that. Gotta let some people know. Okay. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. Decent. Decent. Really nothing much. Hey, that's cool, man. That's cool. I just figured we just do a little preamble before I get into the whole thing. I got this I don't know if you guys are in anime or not, but that's or if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I talk about, well, not even just talk about, I talk about whatever. And that's usually ranges from anime to geek culture, nerd culture, whatever, to some real world stuff too as well. I try not to get too let's say a little too real with what's going on lately in the world, but hey, gotta keep a little checkpoint things. All right, water, got that. Got things pulled up. Okay, cool. Oh, and of course, for those who are new here, I also do comic dubs. I work with artists such as Nefarious Watcher or Nefarious. I like Nefarious Watcher better. And voice actors and stuff. And I'm just really grateful and appreciative that I'm able to do stuff. Just work with these type of people, very, very talented people. Okay, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, hold on. Don't tell me I gotta reload this. Okay, cool. Yep. All right. So last stream we left off at here, and I read the prologue. Well, I did a special thanks, the prologue to basically the third chapter, and well, second chapter, I mean, and then we're getting to the third chapter. I don't really expect this to be long. I'm gonna try to keep it normal. Well, like within an hour, maybe nearly 2 hours, maybe, and that's hoping that I don't have to take like a moment just to again, uh, just how I'm feeling. So, all right, and I also want to say that if you see any typos or anything that's is a little weird in here, just know that this is probably one of the early drafts before I completed it, and I got a lot of things planned other than doing this. I don't want to say too much, but for those who know, you know. So let's get into it. Chapter 3, Absolute. The blonde-haired twins, Hell and Destruction, are in the forest. Wearing their usual dark-sleeved tunics, the brothers are deciding what to hunt as they venture. The use of gestures and actions are their main way of communication, utilizing what they learned from the twin guide eaters. They come to an agreement. A Bressie will be a fine hunt due to the massed amount of meat on the large animal. Enough for tonight's dinner, since they want to show that show their father they are ready to prove themselves as the two head deep into the forest. Also, little sign. I guess the thing, yeah, that's another thing I noticed about this is sorry if I had to cut this, but when I have these like little little notes right here, they're not popping up. So I noticed that too about this. So that's why I could tell this is one of the like older drafts before I completed it. So basically, Bressy's like large animals I put into this. Well, I'm sorry that I typed down in this story, but um, I can't really remember the specifics of it. And this is when I was trying to do like the whole world building as well. So I thought it was pretty interesting, but now when I look back at it, I'm like, it's okay, I guess. All right, sorry. Get back to it. So illustration of Hell and Destruction. Artist is Karmaseth or Karmaseth X, and let's just say he's the main illustrator for a reason. A month ago, at the sanctuary, Recif and Raylish taught the godlings about the fundamentals of hunting by using the outdoors as a hands-on session. Tracking is a tracking is a part of today's subject. In an area such as this one, there are bound to be plentiful predators and prey, spoke Raylish. Such are the rules of nature when it comes between the strong, weak, sufficient, and the ill-equipped. Do not worry, we will help guide, as we always do, but this time it will be limited, Recif informed. If you fail, learn from it as you should. Great hunters learn from their previous mistakes and improve, and although you are not like us, you still can be great. Gods must know what others do not. That is what separates them from the rest. Twin Hour Mothers explained, giving them more of a prep talk to inspire. Insanity raised his hand. First and second Outer Okasons, since we're godlings, will you one day eat us because you both eat gods? The two looked at him with odd expressions. His siblings gazed at him with a mixture of confusion and surprise. It was a quiet moment before the Outer Mothers answered the question. We won't eat any of you, though we feast on your father in a different way. When you're older, you'll understand, added Raylish. Getting the answer, the intrepid godling shrugged, readying for the lesson to proceed, but the narcissism spoke up. Why must I be outside with them? I'd rather be inside than out in this filthy wilderness. Narcissism, warned Raylish with a firm tone. Be silent, or we might consider eating you, teased the smirking Recif. The selfish godling quieted upon hearing that, not sure if they were serious. The twin guide-ears, now satisfied, go back to the lesson. First, Recif continued, you all will be in one group. Working together as a group improves the chances of survival and success, supported Raylish. Second, you will begin the hunt by being assigned an area of where to go and start looking. You will get lost if you do not pay attention to the signs. They will be obvious, and some thinking will be involved. Third, remember the way you came from. It is essential to mark where you were at in case backtracking is involved. Hell and Destruction simply listened as they gave the Outer Mothers their attention. Purgatory paid attention as well, while Insanity thought about how to get to one point from another without moving. Heaven showed a serious face as she intently listened, and Narcissism wanted to mouth off, though refrained due to fear of punishment. We will get involved if we must. Just remember, do not become too dependent on us. Present. Destruction marks a tree every 20 steps with a punch, leaving an indent. Hell, on the other hand, deciding where the Bressy went next since they crossed the river with stepping stones. Crouching down to the now muddy ground as rain falls on top of them, tracking became harder for the Goblins, and Destruction went to help his brother with determining where the animal went. His fiery orange eyes searched for any disturbances or irregularities, though nothing alludes to where it could have gone. Hell stands up, suggesting that one of them take a high view to see if they could spot it, in which his brother agrees and goes to do just that. Walking up to a tree, Destruction reaches up with his left hand to grab onto a branch, his feet pushing up with the use of the strong bark acting as support. The godling utilizes his upper body strength to keep climbing until he gets to a high enough position that he can see the top of nearby trees. Nothing but birds, trees, and the gray sky occupying his sight. He decides to stay in position until any other clues point as to where their hunt has gone. Minutes pass, movement towards the northeast, leaves on the trees over there being brushed upon by a large figure that moves. Destruction jumps off the branch he was on, landing on the forest floor, the now muddy ground squelching under his feet. Destruction proceeds to tell his brother where the Bressay is. They're on the hunt again. A month ago, the 6 Godlings arrived in the area that the God-Eaters have pointed them to. The leaders of this group were Hell, Destruction, and Insanity. Heaven helped keep track of their direction by using wind manipulation, an effective ability that she learned to control with the help of the of the Arachne. Man, I cannot speak today. Purgatory kept watch on Narcissism in case the youngest brother tried to desert the group. They came to a clearing with a camp that has been set up just for them, a place to rest. Oh, this is sweet, a camp for us, Insanity was giddy, expecting all that was there. Narcissism groaned out. His tail impatiently moved around, knowing they would be spending more time outside. No, the youngest brother was dismayed. Hell and Destruction scanned the area. Something felt off. Purgatory noticed too. Heaven rested on a log that was placed near the unlit fire pit, needing a break from their trek. I'm glad we made it here. That was a long walk, the sister spoke with her usual light tone of voice. Hold on now. Something isn't right. What is it now, you black-haired idiot? Narcissism grabbed Purgatory by the hair. This made the moral brother retaliate with a punch to the selfish brother's stomach. You idiot! Screeched out Narcissism in pain. Purgatory fixed his long black hair into place. Do it again, and I'll give you a black eye. Narcissism grumbled, then lunged at Purgatory. The two collapsed onto the ground, punching at each other. A fist hits Purgatory in the mouth, another hits Narcissism in the eye. Raw anger could be heard from both, and Insanity pursued to split them up with multiple arms. Hey now! Calm it down, you two, the entropic brother said in a serious voice. I'm going to kill him, yelled out Narcy. Oh, brothers, why must you be like this? Questioned Heaven as she made her way to them. The twin godlings with blonde hair watched the incident go on until they forcefully took both feuding brothers away, placing them on opposite ends of the camp. For a short moment, Destruction and Hell thought they saw 2 pairs of pink glowing eyes within the trees, but they're not sure if it's the mind playing tricks on them given how long a day they were having. Insanity sighed out. Most of his arms vanished except for 2, while Heaven sat on the log. Good grief, the sister huffed out. Yeah, agreed Insanity. Present. Arriving at the now non-existent campsite, the twin brothers are completely soaked, though the fresh tracks took them there. Their eyes look around for the familiar area, the Bressay laying in the middle of the clearing. They sign to each other, wondering how they could take it down swiftly since they have no tools to use, only their hands. Coming up with a quick plan, the brothers begin to move towards it, and when they get close to the large animal, the ground under them begins to shift inwards, alarming them. They jump away at an instant, figuring out that it's an illusory serpentine. An illusory serpentine is a large serpent that burrows underneath the ground and places an illusion as bait that changes for whatever sets its eyes on. It likes to trap its prey underground by swallowing the shallow ground before consumption. Hell and Destruction are in no position to fight this fiend. They turn and run. The serpent hisses, giving chase. Destruction glances behind, seeing how close the monster of a snake is before shifting focus forward and doing his best to keep on running. The mud slows them and causes the twins to lose their footing, but suddenly a force cuts through the serpent's head. It was cut off with ease by who or what exactly? The pair of twins breathe heavily, adrenaline pumping. A month ago, twilight approached. The godlings had calmed down since the small fight. Heaven had already tended to her brother's minimal wounds. She went to make her man. She went to make her way to where her three other brothers were at, finding them in the middle of the camp. Dear brothers, are you ready to head back? Hell and Destruction gave her a nod and Sandy spoke up. Oh yeah, we're ready. Okay. They're a bit calm, holding grudges, but they are calm. I'm glad they're not fighting again. Sandy sighed and glanced over at both his twin and Narcy. He couldn't help but think that when they grow up, both of them will one day respect each other. Narcissism's a jerk, though he knew about the youngest brother's insecurities. He wondered if that one day didn't happen, would Narcy not be the self-centered star that he is? Or has it always been in him? A part of him thought that he should start planning on how to help his siblings when problems arise. Perhaps a bit of brotherly care could be of great help, since their father wants them to be more caring of each other. Are you thinking about something? Heaven asked innocently. Yes, I am. He looked at her with a smile, then tapped her once on the forehead with his right index finger. Suddenly, this caused her golden eyes to turn blue. His expression became worried. Brother, what is it? Why are you giving me that look? It's nothing. Don't do anything. Okay. The confused sister has an assured expression on her youthful face. She blinked, her eyes returning to the original color. Sandy sighed in relief. This is a bit odd, even for you, dear brother. She crossed her arms. He rubbed the back of his head with a sheepish smile. Don't worry, Shisuda. I'm fine. I'm fine if everyone else is. If you say so. The blonde-haired brothers watched as two of their siblings talked. The thought of this excuse me, y'all. The thought of this part of the forest should be claimed as theirs whenever they want to be away from family for a reasonable amount of time did seem lucrative. Hell nodded to Destruction. Destruction nodded back, and they proceeded to grab everyone's attention so they could head back home. Present. Thick blood gushes out from the exposed neck, flooding the muddy ground with a mix of red and black. Trees given a new coat of color, red with speckled green and brown. The twins soon find out that the cause of the brutal force comes from their father. The patriarch makes his way towards the oldest twins. The vile mud avoids him along with the rain. He's angry, a rare sight to see from their father as he picks the boys up and walks back home. Your judgment will start as soon as we get to the sanctuary, Ragnarøkkr affirms. The brothers, knowing that they've done wrong and not telling their father where they would be and what they would be doing, regrettably understand his anger. Yes, father, the sons say in unison. A month ago. They returned home. The godlings saw their father and twin-eyed mothers awaiting them. All three had prideful smiles. Excellent little snacks. The journey at first seemed to be long, yet in reality it was short. Not bad. We are almost jealous that you all figured your way to the campsite on the first try. Realis and Recif's tails happily wagged, recalling when they were put through a similar beginner's trial when they were younger, albeit they were in the underworld when it happened. The patriarch went up to his children. Well, well, adventurers you surely are now. I'm proud of you all. Let's head inside. I made sure to make something special. He made the large entry doors open, and without missing a beat, Narcissism raced inside. Soon enough, the others head inside as well. Oh, all right. That. Whew. Oh, your book? Yeah, yeah. Sorry, y'all. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I was really into the chapter. How's it going, dear? Hey, man. It's going good. It's going well. I feel better now. Actually, I feel like earlier I felt like I was gonna throw up because I had. I'll be honest. I kind of overate with the cheeseburgers, but man, I don't care. That they tasted good. They had ketchup on them, and I don't like ketchup, but I couldn't taste the ketchup, so that was all good. I guess could have been better. Could have been better. I like a lot of mustard or barbecue sauce. I mean, James, how you doing, bro? Uh, man, everyone's here today, I guess. Devontae, how you doing, man? Oh, jeez. Yeah, sorry guys. I wasn't really paying attention to the chat when I was reading all that stuff, but it's okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'm gonna talk to you guys, but I'm gonna take a little break from reading, especially when we're only doing 2 chapters today. Ah, man. Whew. I'm just glad. I'm just glad that this isn't one of the longer chapters, and you will see what I mean by that. Because when we get to chapter 12, woo, that I think that sucker's like 60 pages long. I think that sucker's like 60 pages long. But it makes sense though. It makes sense why it's like that. Uh, oh, good bro. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm just reading this book, reading this debut novel, looking over things, seeing kind of embarrassing myself in front of everyone, but it's okay. Um, I can't wait. I can't wait to redo this book. Can't wait to fix the correction. Well, this is one of the older drafts, but still, it's bringing that editor out of me now. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is too much. It's like I'm clenching my fist, dude. When I see some errors, I'm just like, I can't. I'm just trying to refrain from like noticing it and just talking about it. Some good water. Well, this is I'm just drinking some strawberry watermelon drink mix. It's okay. I like the sweet tea better. I love the sweet tea. I like tea more, but this is okay. They only had one more box at the store of sweet tea, and I just decided to buy it and give it to my grandmother. She wanted tea, and I was like, well, here, I'll give this to her, and I'll just stick with the stupid strawberry watermelon. uh, how's everyone? How's everyone? Um, except for those who already answered. Got this fan on me. It's not too. I won't say. I will say it's not too warm in here, but where I live, it gets a little warm. It's already warm, but it gets a little too warm real quickly, especially during the nights, and that's the worst one right there. Then it's just nights being warm instead of being cool. I could deal with the day, because sunlight and everything, but when the night is warm, that's when I have problems. Nick says, "Good. I plan to draw later on." Hey, that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. Heck, I actually plan to write some more. I'm on the I'm on the 11th chapter of the new book. and it's not the book for this series, for the Gods and Goddesses series. It's for Zen's Cathedral, really, which I've already shown you guys, so you guys know what's up. So I haven't I haven't really like edited um chapters 8 through 10 yet, which I was gonna just write write those 3 chapters, I mean, and then put them into my Google Docs and then start editing there, and well, format them first, then edit. But I think I'll do 4 instead. I think I'll do 4, then reformat those 4 and then edit those 4. But I don't know. I think that's a bad call, just because it can get longer, a longer work process, and time is everything. I don't have an assistant, and I don't have a well. I have a better beta reader, but I only want him to do the beta reading. He does give me some good tips, though. I talked about him last stream, so if you guys want to check that out, more welcome to do that. I'm just trying not to overdo it today, y'all. But I am feeling a lot better. Yeah, maybe this is what I need to do. Just chill out this Saturday. How's everyone's Valentine's Day going? Mine is all right. Mine is just working, studying. I actually do kind of want to talk about something kind of cool. Uh, well, I wouldn't say cool. Well, maybe we'll see. It's a little concerning, but it's cool as well. Uh, just after this, me reading about these 2 chapters and just check it out, because I wanted to ask. I'm sorry, I asked AI earlier about, hey, what do you think about what's going to happen to human intellect in, like, I don't know, like in a couple years or something like that, maybe more. And it had a really interesting response. So yeah, all right, you guys ready? Because I'm ready. And forgive me if I'm jumping around everywhere. I'm trying not to do that, but I'm just, I don't know why I'm struggling. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. I'm just like, I'm not even like stressed, yo. I don't know what's going on with me. Maybe I need to go see a doctor. Oh wait, I am the doctor, Doctor Hino 419. As some of y'all always say. Ah, all right. Okay. Fourth chapter, but the second one for tonight, the last one for tonight. Woo. Chapter 4, Incompatible. Waking up on a very early morning before the light peers over the horizon, the female godling examines her slumbering twin brother. Her golden eyes then focus on the first 2 brothers, who are peacefully sleeping too. Setting her sights over the second pair of brothers, it's not unusual to see a dreaming insanity, and how she could tell is that his horns glow with different colors. She came to understand her brother's mannerisms by observing their actions and language, taught to her by the enabler. She's no master at it, but given enough time to be with her family, she quickly understood their behavioral patterns with ease, perhaps even herself. Kind, fair, tolerant, and also justified. Getting out of bed with little effort and being mindful not to wake her brothers, she quietly proceeds to exit the room, closing the door gently behind her. Heading to where her father's chambers are at, she comes to the wooden door, looking at it for a quick moment, then proceeding to knock lightly. After the third knock, the door opens to reveal her father. The lava within him causes the darkness to be interrupted by the natural light he produces. Heaven. Dear Father, I come to check on you and say good morning. So, good morning, Father, and how are you? Picking up his only daughter, he goes to cradle her in his arms. Good morning to you as well. I am reminiscing, my child. Reminiscing? As in memories? That is correct. About? For a moment, she could see that he had to think about it. Probably how he wants to word it since he's conscious about communication. The moment you and your brothers came into this world, an event that had me nervous, yet gave me pride and confidence. My 6 beautiful children. She smiles. How are mothers like, father? She innocently asks. Hmm. Hell was tough. Did not let many understand. Did not let many understand her. She kept her distance and stepped in when she needed to. She was fine being by herself until it came time for her to work with the other 2 mothers. I could see that hell and destruction have inherited that part of her, always being on their own unless it's time for them to be with others. His teeth form a small smile, finding the thought of his sons to be somewhat amusing. And what about Purgatory's insanities? Purgatory closely adapted Rangoku's mannerisms, though she never has been a wild one like Insanity. I do wonder if that is how she was in her past. I can't imagine that since she has always been a serious woman. I say even more so than hell. The environment around them changes. They're now in the kitchen as the father decides what to make for breakfast. He heads over to a metallic door, unlocking the seals. Inside the metallic corridor were stacks. I'm sorry, y'all. Inside the metallic corridor where stacks of various foods are in orderly rows, numerous racks on both sides of the hallway go straight down until they reach the end of the wall. The main source of lighting are motes of illumination that float mindlessly in the air. Levitating what he needs, he heads out the corridor, the door closing and sealing itself as the levitating, magically preserved food goes onto the counter. What about mine and Arcee's? You're like your mother, reserved and lovable. Once in a while, she could be just like Narcissism, but not to such extremes as he takes it. Why don't we look like you, father? That is a fair question, he answers. It is because we are in the mortal plane, and it was decided that you will resemble mortals to a degree. The daughter is a bit puzzled as she speaks up. So, it's because of you, mothers, and this plane? Can we choose to look similar to you, father? Can you even disguise yourself to look mortal? Yes, if you really want to see yourself in a different light, then that will take time through the use of appearance magics. It's not all illusionary, for I suspect that one day you will all see a part of me in you. It's normal for children of deities to channel their other side. If you want to see me as immortal, then I could do exactly just that. Father, why must such things not be simple? It is how life works. Some things are meant to be complex, my daughter. The morning passes into noon. Heaven is outside with Purgatory as he stands under the shade of a tree. Brother and sister are talking to each other about what comes to mind. No, I do not think we will see mortals anytime soon, especially with how we have so much to learn. Brother, wouldn't it be good wouldn't it be a good lesson to holy cow. Brother, wouldn't it be a good lesson on how to interact with them? I like to think we all have common sense when it comes to behaving like them. You know, not to make them feel scared. Insanity probably could do it. Narcissism? No way. If those two can show that they can before actually meeting them, I think we all could do it then. Oh boy, she sighs out. How did I think about it? Narcy can be rough at times. Now you see. I want to meet the mortals, but it's best that we do not hurry. The wind howls, branches of the tree sway, a scatter of leaves fall down. A leaf lands on the sister's head. She reaches up with her left hand to grab it. I suppose that is the best plan. You always practice patience when it comes to these types of things, but try applying it more on Narcy, please. She offers the leaf to him, in which he accepts with a grumble. I would if he wasn't so arrogant. Nothing but trouble to anyone who is near him. Maybe so. I say catch him on his good days. He has days of peace. I hardly believe that. Heaven smiles. nodding once as her golden eyes shine with affirmation. Her, lazy, her tail lazily her tail lazily wagging, displaying her interest in talking about this. He does not do this openly, but he practices on building things, painting, and creating notes for music. He even reads in the library. I think Enabler ignited a spark within him on her last day. That's why we do not see him much on certain days. And how'd you know this? Purgatory rubs his chin in a curious manner. She smirks, bearing a similar structure to narcissism. I followed him in secret because I was bored one day. He got really mad once he finally noticed. Heaven chuckles guiltily, letting go of the leaf. The mortal brother leans on the tree, crossing his arms. Makes me feel good knowing he gets upset over something little like that. That's Narcy for you. He's cute when he gets angry and doesn't resort to violence. Brother, you should see for yourself one day. Though she puts a finger on her bound lip and closes her eyes as she thinks. I suppose he probably found a new secret place. She opens her eyes, putting her hand down, looking over at her dark-haired brother. I would not be surprised. This is Narcy we're talking about after all. He shrugs. Yeah. Hey, where is the Sandy again? Probably near the garden. I hope he's not messing with the food. He sighs. It has been nice talking with you, sister. I would like time to myself. I understand. She nods before giving him a respectful bow and leaving. Soon the female godling arrives at the garden. It didn't take long to spot the entropic brother messing with the flowers and other plants. He's inspecting them. The effect of each inspection he does changes the color of each plant. This looks like it needs more water. The vine is starting to dry up, he notes to himself. His brownish red eyes observe the problem while the vine of fruit starts to change color and rehydrate. He smiles in satisfaction upon seeing that and goes to check on the remaining parts of the garden. Witnessing this, Heaven silently makes her way over to Insanity, putting a hand on his right shoulder. Brother, what are you doing? She curiously asks while peeking over his shoulder. Ah, Heaven, I'm doing some gardening for Pappy. I'm doing pretty well too, he exclaims with pride as an arm extends out to pat her on the head. She's not sure how to feel about this as she moves her hand off his shoulder. He spins around to meet her face to face, a wide smile on his. What brings you here, I wonder? I just wanted to know where you were and wanted to see you. She goes to move his long white hair away from his face to stop obscuring his image. Here I am, he says in a childlike manner as if he were hiding. This gets her to chuckle and give off a beautiful smile. Dear brother, you are so weird. She chuckles some more, and he does as well. Always will be. You are wondering why the plants are turning colors? I don't know why either. I'm only fixing the damages. Um, she tries to think of an appropriate response to that, only to come up with nothing. It's alright, Shisuda. Come on. Let's garden together. If you say so, brother. That I do. Chuckling as she goes to help him by using a bit of her novice restorative magic, her hands glow a white pinkish color, focusing on channeling the magic in which it returns the vegetation back to its original tinge. I know a bit about the garden since our father taught me as well. I imagine that he does not want us to do too much. Nah, Pappy won't be concerned. He trusts me, I think. He chuckles again. I won't do anything too crazy. Promise. Brother, a hint of concern in her voice. I hope you are not up to something. He smirks while tending to the garden, enjoying this moment. Heaven gently huffs, not entertained by how he's acting, moving to the next plant, and then the next after, as minutes go by. All was quiet until... You ever wonder what it would be like if our mothers were here? Huh? She turns her head towards him. Why bring up our mothers? I just wonder what it would be like if they were not, you know. Would things be different or play out similarly? Think about it like this. We technically have 3 other mothers, right? Rayless, Resif, and Enabler. The 6 of us came from 3 succubi, 2 from each mother. With our mothers acting as replacements for our actual mothers, would things play out similarly? Sure, there might be some differences because everyone is not the same, but everyone does have something in common with the other. whether they be friends, family, or rivals. I find it interesting to think about this stuff. What, what could have been in all that? What about you? He glances over at his sister, who is speechless for now. She hadn't thought about something like that in such detail. It seemed incomprehensible to her at first. I, I think there could be a possibility. I also theorize that there might be a big difference. As Sandy examines the vegetation that he's working on, watching it turn a different color as he contemplates. Heaven finds herself within the sanctuary, going to visit her oldest brothers. Knowing that they were on punishment for what had happened a day ago, she comes to the decision to try and cheer them up. The two brothers are currently cleaning a section of the sanctuary, using all types of tools that mortals would use instead of magic. Brothers, how are you? May I take a moment of your time? The tolerant sister politely asks. She leans on the railing of the upper balcony, watching hell and destruction below. The first pair of twins look up at her, their fiery orange eyes showing that they're annoyed from being interrupted. They have a long day ahead of them. Then another long day, and another waiting after that. They are not in the mood for such talking, she realizes. Oh, I'm sorry, brothers. I thought I would come here to cheer you both up. Go on, Destruction firmly states. Well, I could talk to our father about lessening the punishment. I do find it unfair that you two are forced to clean without help. No lessening, Hell responds, beginning to mop the concrete floor. To be leaders, we must understand our mistakes and be better. Father said something similar to that in the past, Destruction supports. The enabler even mentioned it as well when we talked to her about what makes a god. What makes a man, a woman a woman, is how they grow and choose what they become, what they have learned through experience and even witness. The choices they make can be either fruitful or disastrous. We are not so different from the mortals when it comes to decision making. We make mistakes just like them, and we should grow into a better version of ourselves. It is our obligation to help this world and all in existence, for the world too grows like us. Hell, quotes their father. Divinity is a form of power. Fools will misuse it because they are short-sighted and used to others serving them instead of vowing to serve the world to make it better. A god is an authority that can be either a dictator or a savior. The ones that are fools become dictators, like the ones that are all humble and answer the prayers given to them. You can become whatever you want. Know that everything has an end before a new beginning. Destruction quotes the enabler. Heaven is moved by hearing this from her older brothers. She finds it so impressive that it makes her smile wide. That is good to see you two value in what was said. I am glad to have you both as family. Yes, we know, sister, Hel plainly responds. We thank you for the kind words. Always welcome, dear brothers. The tolerant godling stays there on the railings, watching her brothers work. She thinks to herself if she should stay and keep them company, and with some more thought, she comes to the conclusion that she shouldn't. She doesn't want to bother them and gets off the railing, standing straight up. Oldest brother, oldest, oh my gosh. Hang on, y'all. Let me get a drink of water. All right. Whew. Let's try this again. Oldest brothers, I wish I wish you a good day, for I am leaving now. Yes. See you during dinner, Hell responds while he mops. Goodbye, Destruction acknowledges while cleaning a window. Heaven turns and walks away. She thinks she succeeded in at least giving them company, probably just made them more determined in righting their wrong. She cannot say that the moment was negative since it did generate something positive. Not in the way she thought it would, though it's better than failing. Heading down the hallway to make her way to the small library section of their home, she eventually comes to the finely crafted wooden door before pushing it open. Motes of light float in place, Close to the barrel vault ceiling, a row of 7 large bookshelves containing hundreds of books sit in the middle of the room. Stairs towards her left lead up to the catwalks on both sides of the library that meet together in the back, forming an almost complete rectangle. Pillars of stone hold up the catwalks, showing what was planned for the upper level of the library. More room for books since built-in shelves line along the walls. The sleek black flooring is engineered wood, giving the library a majestically comfortable atmosphere since the white motes of light are dim enough for visitors to see their surroundings. Heaven silently went to the bookshelf in the middle, observing all the different books that were collected over the years, various sizes, different authors, paperback, hardcover, etc. This is where the enabler would spend her time alone or teach them about various subjects and even hold demonstrations. Her favorite part about this fine section of the home that the patriarch built a long time ago. Narcissism took most of it to heart ever since the enabler explained the various styles of art used in the different realms of the world. She grabs a book, pulling it out from the stash of the bookshelf, holding it in her soft hands while looking down at the cover, reading the gold title, Book of Basics. The color of the book's purple and has weight to it, though not heavy for her to carry. Opening the book, she's met with a detailed drawing on the left page in words in old font on the right that appeal to her visually. The drawing shows two people interacting with each other. The writing on the right tells about how to have a conversation with others. She's about to finish reading that page, then the door opens to reveal her twin brother. His golden eyes meets hers. She flashes him a welcoming smile as he returns with a scowl. Oh, great. You're in here. He closes the door, ignoring his sister while proceeding onwards to a bookshelf that is over to her left. Brother, don't be so rude, she voices her displeasure. As if my day could get any more disappointing, he mumbles while browsing for a book that will catch his eye. Heaven is used to this type of behavior from him, not letting it bother her. She instead thinks on how to make conversation with him, resuming reading that part of the book. Once done, she takes the initiative to speak to him. Narcissism, what type of art do you like? She targets interest. As if you'd understand. I'm curious. Please tell me, what is your favorite type of art? She tries again. The selfish godling thinks before answering. Oh, if they are used in creative ways that strikes both beauty and shows a level of intelligence, I will come to love it. Smirking, she knows he will be pleasant to talk to now. Do you know what goals you have in mind? One day, I will bring a new age of art since mortals cannot achieve much by themselves. My art will be lifelike, highly adored, and never forgotten. I will bring true beauty into this world, a real masterpiece. On second thought, Heaven realizes she opened a floodgate of narcissism enjoying the sound of his own voice. He rambles on about things that interest him and how he will become the greatest god of them all. She listens while reading the book, waiting for him to finish or for someone to interrupt his long speech. And that is how I will change the world I want to. They will learn how to like it because they're mortals, nothing else. If any of you try to mess anything up, I will stop you, especially purgatory. I got a special place in mind for his dull self. As for father, Narcissism's tail taps against the floor while thinking. Well, he'll be too old to do anything, I hope. Furthering his thought on that, he becomes concerned about what their father would do if he's still able to move when they're older. Yeah, I might need to be careful with him, the godling quietly remits. No longer knowing what time it is, the vacant response from his sister catches his attention. Peering around the bookshelf, the twin brother finds her sitting on the floor with the book in lap, asleep. Narcissism, agitated by this, was going to give her a rude awakening until a certain memory stops him. The memory of that incident invades his mind, causing him to slowly retract his hands. Another thought pops into his head, wondering if their mother would approve of this. He knows their father won't, but with this, second thought, he decides to take the book from her and place it back into the spot she, man, excuse me, y'all, into the spot she got it from. Against his judgment, he goes to pick her up. Huh, she's light, he thinks. Okay, Heaven, I'll play your stupid game. This will be the only time. Embarrassment fills him. Making his way out of the library, he examines the hallway, being sure no one sees him doing a kind act. All right, that was that was both chapters, chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay, not bad, not bad, and still in under an hour too, 50 minutes exactly, not bad. Mm. Ah, I'm just glad that these two chapters were not long, and I just wanted them to focus on the other children. Uh, I will say this: I do love. I'm starting to actually like voicing Narcy. Narcissism is just, or Narcy for short. He's fun. He's fun to just act. He's fun to act as. I can't lie. I can't deny it. Sandy is too. Sandy is pretty fun, but it's a bit slow paced right now, especially for the first section. But it will pick up. I won't say like, oh, we're gonna go from 0 to 1,000 like in an instant. But um, what I love about storytelling the most is that how it takes its time. It takes its time and it builds up this well, basically builds up the world just to give it a plain summarization. But if we want to talk about in depth of it, I love the dialect between characters, especially when it pertains to the family. Uh, if you guys heard me say this before, that Game of Thrones really helped me hone in on that on the dialogue and just to pay attention to things. It's not nothing loaded in there, but it's through not just through I'm sorry, not through just speech, but it's also through the mannerisms, through the body language and stuff. And just reading this early draft copy of of this book, oh my gosh, um, it's not perfect. I understand that, but man, I do remember it being a lot worse when I first wrote it. So, you guys think it's a mess? You guys think this is a mess? You should have seen. I'm pretty sure I don't even have that first draft anymore. This is back when I was first making, first learning about like having these different drafts and stuff, and I like to keep them. I'm starting to actually like keeping those drafts now, just to see how it progresses and just comparing them, especially when I rewrote the second book. Gosh, I'm very surprised I rewrote that book, but I got art. I just signed. Well, I wouldn't say signed, but I just confirmed that new piece of art for the second book should be made. It's going to be made, and I think I think that will be the last one. If not, it'd be the second to last. It might be the second to last, and it's getting closer to the it's getting closer to the end. The second one, and then it's on to the third one, which oh my gosh, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. All right, so I did say that we were gonna. Well, I did mention that I was gonna bring this little interesting, well, concerning but interesting topic up. I don't think it's entirely bad. Not entirely. Not gonna like do doom and gloom. Oh yeah, before I forget. Before I forget, since it's Valentine's Day, Here we go. I know I showed this before, but it's very appropriate for this day. Lane of Veer, I'm saying, basically having the nice and italic written, "You will always be mine." Wow, and then Nymeva's is just straight out bold and just making it looks here like, "Oh, you always be mine." Uh, I love this. It's a good meme. Very good meme. Thanks, Neff. All right, so I don't know what compelled me to write about this. Actually, you know what? I lied. Not right, but just ask this. Oh, hold on. I love that. I love the narcissism of leadership. Yeah, yeah, I do too, man. I do too. I think. I mean, a lot of people not think, but I know a lot of people like that too. It's a very nice alternate universe shipping, and that was a happy accident on itself, right there with Elena and narcissism. Just it started off as a joke, especially I think this is when I actually first met Neff when he was doing the free artwork back then, back in 2022, and just to try and bolster his reach. And I think it was that. I think it began with that. If not, it was right around that time, very early timeline. Either way, it started off as a happy accident, and I was like, I really liked Elena's design. There was no stopping me. I really loved it, and tested out like a short story really of the two, and we actually saw that they actually worked together, and it was it was pretty nice. It was pretty cool. It was very conservative, as in like staying on the plot, um, on this like the plot line level things, and second to the story, and now now it's fully blossom. If it's not fully blossom, it's getting ready to. This is I really wasn't expecting this to work, but those two are very. I would say they're pretty synonymous, considering how she's like and how he's like, and it's like yes, they're opposites, but there's so many similarities between them. Truly a 10 out of 10 alternate universe couple. All right, where was I getting? Oh yeah, so this is back when I was earlier today, I should say. I was studying for I was studying some cybersecurity stuff, mainly the CompTIA Security Plus exam that I'm wanting to take in a couple months actually. So I'm getting everything written down. I got written down like so many things, y'all. I wrote down the acronyms um, that will actually pop up on the exam and everything. And it's like, dude, there's like 3 or 4 pages full of these acronyms. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. From A, all the way from A to, I'm looking through it right now. From A to X. You heard me right. A through X. But anyway, I was able to get get those acronyms done, and I went over to Professor Messer's training, like his little course over on YouTube, and just writing stuff down, learning again, just writing all this stuff down for I can learn and study about the cybersecurity basics and just be better prepared. And I thought it occurred to me, I was like, man, with all this AI stuff, I have a question about it, and I do use AI. I don't hate AI. I'm not really neglecting of AI. I use AI purely as a tool. That's what it should be used for. And I don't really, and it's just, I could never like have it like think for me or write for me. Now I would like engage with the AI, like, with like, hey, I need you to research this thing that happened, so and so, or look over at this continent, blah 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 blah. Yeah, stuff like that. Then, it gives me citations where I can actually directly look into those websites or the evidence for it, and make sure that things are lining up. And it just gotta do your due diligence basically. And I was like, man, let me just ask this question. So I was like, with how AI is being used by various people around the world, do you believe that human intelligence will lower? If so, which parts of the world will be most affected? So I I want always engaging with AI. Well, yeah, basically on a almost daily basis, almost. I really do have these thoughts sometimes. If and Most of the time, 99% of the time, I'm just like, okay, hey, research this, help me research this. Okay, we're figuring this out. All right, let me write this down. Yada yada yada. That's how I basically came to find Professor Messer's courses. Anyway, getting back to this, the AI says, yes, I believe human intelligence, particularly in certain measurable and practical aspects, is likely to decline on average due to how AI is currently being used around the world. This won't mean humans are becoming dumber in an absolute biological sense, but rather that widespread cognitive offloading, delegating thinking tasks to AI, reduces practice and development of key mental skills, similar to how not exercising muscles leads to atrophy. Recent studies, including MIT Media Lab EEG research on essay writing with ChatGPT, and surveys showing strong negative correlations between frequent AI use and critical thinking. Let me brighten up my screen for a bit. Critical thinking consistently point to reduced brain engagement, weaker executive control, poor memory retention for self-generated work, and eroded independent reasoning when people habitually rely on generative AI as a crutch rather than a collaborator. And when that's a lot right there. And I use it again. I kind of like use it as like a little assistant. And I'm just, and I got this is why I'm kind of like I'm doing my best to be very careful like how to use it, because it is a very useful tool. It's Now, will it get things wrong at times? Yes, it will. But this is the right there. I read just those few sentences right there. It's a lot. Over time, this fosters cognitive laziness or inertia, especially in younger users who show higher dependence. Which that's scary right there. That's very scary. uh, This aligns with the reverse Flynn effect already observed in some developed countries, declining average IQ scores after decades of rises, which some researchers link to digital tools and and now accelerating with AI. The effects is not inevitable. AI can augment intelligence when used thoughtfully. Example, as a sparring partner for ideas or to handle rote work, while humans focus on synthesis, but current patterns of use lean heavily toward passive reliance. Then we get to like the subject of like which parts of the world will be most affected. The impact will be the impact will be uneven in the strongest where high AI adoption meets low to moderate critical slash AI literacy and heavy uncritical reliance. Wealthier high adoption regions such as North America, parts of Western Europe, Australia, East Asia, like Japan or South Korea, face the greatest risk of measurable decline in fluid intelligence aspects, which are problem solving, critical thinking, creative under novel conditions. Students and knowledge workers here already show the strongest offloading patterns in studies, with EEG evidence of reduced neural connectivity during AI assisted tasks. These societies have high exposure but mixed to low optimism and higher concern about AI risks. Two, younger populations with rapid enthusiastic adoption but limited in educational scaffolding, emerging economies with with very high adoption rates, as in India, China, Nigeria, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, show stronger enthusiasm, trust, and regular use. Sometimes 70 to 80% regular usage versus 50% in advanced economies. If this enthusiasm translates to uncritical dependence without strong AI literacy or habits of independent verification, large youth cohorts could experience amplified effects over a generation. However, higher reported literacy in some emerging markets might offer partial protection, and that's a question I need to ask. That, like, okay, for how long though? So that's something right there. And then three, education systems that integrate AI as a shortcut rather than deep learning tool. Regions with heavy early AI use in schools or universities, often high income plus fast adopting emerging markets, risk the largest generational hit, as formative years are when cognitive muscles develop most. Studies already show students outsourcing entire cognitive processes produce soulless work with lasting retention deficits. I mean, this stuff is. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm like going like I just like, okay, yeah, we were reading about this book, now we're talking about AI and stuff. I just thought this was pretty interesting. I thought I would like to share it with you guys. But I just this is some, I mean, of course it makes sense where it's gonna affect like North America, Europe, just the Western world, right? It makes sense that it's gonna affect the Western world more than the Eastern. Well, or than again, Japan and South Korea, China. And I know they saying like emerging economies like China and I mean, but you gotta think I believe China's heavily involved in AI as well. So that's gonna be pretty interesting to see, especially with them having what's their is their population is, I mean, it's definitely bigger than the United States. So it's gonna be very interesting to see that. But talk about within a generation, it just happened like that within a generation. But from what I've seen, from what I've seen personally, yeah, I believe it. Especially before the whole AI became the norm. You gotta think, with the joke with the iPad kids and stuff. I mean, we're all guilty of something with tech wise, but it's just I don't know what to say about this other than like, I mean, I guess I'm saying a lot, or I think I'm saying a lot. I just wish I could articulate it more because I kind of wanted to go deeper with this, but I was like, okay, hold on, let me just. And this is right after I got done studying for the CompTIA Security Plus test or exam. I mean, so I wasn't really trying to be all there, and I just wanted to rest. But in addition, it says conversely, regions with lower current adoption, much of sub-Saharan Africa, parts of South Asia, low resource language areas, may experience delayed but potentially milder effects. They get less immediate offloading risk, but also miss augmentation benefits, potentially widening global cognitive slash productivity gaps. In short, the strongest near-term declines in practice human cognitive skills will likely appear in high adoption, high access societies. Again, US, parts of Europe, China, wealthier East Asia, Gulf states, or urban India, especially among younger, digitally native groups. The outcome isn't fixed. Deliberate education emphasizing AI as a tool, not a replacement for thinking, could flip much of this risk into a net gain. Without that, we're trading convenience today for shallower thinking tomorrow, which that's absolutely correct. And again, we're seeing that already. We've seen the studies, we've seen stuff on social media about that. It's just let people always talk about, oh, we're basically being building Skynet. It's like, well, can't really worry about Terminators when people are already lost already lost themselves by letting the machine think for them. But anyway, I went on and continued with, I was like, well, what are some solutions we can explore with the use of AI other than regulations to try and balance over dependence on it? They AI then says there are several promising non-regulatory approaches to counter over dependence on AI and preserve or even enhance human cognitive skills like critical thinking, problem-solving, memory, and creativity. These focus on the intentional design, education practices, cultural norms, and tech features that make AI a true collaborator rather than a replacement. Here are some of the most practical and evidence-backed solutions being explored or implemented as of early 2026. One, think first, prompt second. Habits and deliberate cognitive re-engagement. Force yourself or build team or slash school norms to structure ideals. I'm sorry, ideas, outline problems, or draft. What is wrong with me? Sorry, y'all. It's it's kind of this font's mess with me just a little bit. Um, or draft rough versions before turning to AI. This primes your brain, strengthens neural pathways, and turns AI into a supplement rather than a starting point. Examples: sketch an essay, outline manually, brainstorm solutions on paper, or recall key facts from memory first. And this is basically what I do in a way. Is I don't write out an essay, but I write my books. I always write my books. I would never have AI write a book for me. I have used AI to help me brainstorm a bit. I have, but that was for like short stories for for friends and stuff. So I wanted to do something I wanted to keep it like that. But after a while, when I was like, okay, yeah, I don't really like this because it's not. It's just I don't feel connection to it. There's no connection to it. So I set that real quick, and it was, would I revisit it? Yeah, I definitely would revisit it, but I'll at least have a lot more written down instead of trying like, oh, what do you think this and that? No, just more solid proof. Like, no, this is my way, not your, my way or the highway, basically. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Why it works. Studies show that this reduces passive offloading and improves retention or synthesis when you later compare your works to AI output. In workplaces, companies enforce this as a policy, build your own ideas first, then use AI to refine, which that's fine. In education, teachers require pre-AI drafts or AI-free brainstorming phrases. Two, AI literacy and critical engagement in education. Teach people, especially students and young workers, how AI works, its limitations, biases, hallucinations, and probabilistic nature. So they treat outputs as hypothesis to interrogate, not truths to accept. Include modules on spotting weak reasoning in AI responses, verifying sources, and asking follow-up probes like what assumptions are here or what are counter arguments. Frame AI as a learning companion or junior collaborator rather than an oracle. Bonus: role reversal exercises where users teach AI or critique its logic, build agency and deeper understanding. Emerging evidence: higher AI literacy buffers against fatigue and dependence while amplifying benefits when users stay vigilant, which that's very helpful when you're trying to do research, when you're trying to do researching, and you need say like, hey chat gpt, I need you to look into this country during this time period, and get cite out and give me some sources that actually are unbiased or are historically accurate as possible. And it'll just, okay, sure, it'll shoot it out to you and you go visit them, and that can actually help. That can. I won't say it's doing the work for you. It's saving you a lot of time. And I'm a big I'm a big proponent of that, saving time, because look, y'all, we're humans. We're gonna get tired. We're gonna get tired. As simple as that. And yes, and a shortcut is nice at times, but can't depend on it that much. Uh, Three. redesign assignments, workflows, and assessments for authentic engagement, make tasks harder to fully outsource, use dynamic personal or recent event based prompts, reference class discussions, local context, or evolving real time issues, scaffold projects with checkpoints, reflections, or in person defenses or oral components, prioritize process over product, reward original synthesis, ethical judgment, creativity, and why explanations rather than speed and volume, create AI free zones for certain exercises to build baseline skills first, master writing without tools before using them, or in schools, group debates, peer reviews, or adversarial testing, actively poke holes in AI suggestions, foster collaboration and independent thinking, which, I think that's cool too. 4. AI design features that encourage scrutiny and active thinking. Developers are experimenting with built in friction to discourage blind acceptance, uncertainty markers, confidence scores, or chunked output space segments instead of walls of text to reduce overload and prompt selective verification. Explainability cues that are simple enough to engage with quickly or require users to engage before full output. Explain your reasoning first. Antagonistic modes, especially for education and kids. AI pushes back on ideas, challenges assumptions, or asks reflective questions instead of being overly agreeable or sycophantic. Uh, Persona-based interaction, treat AI as different roles, devil's advocate or detail checker to match human strengths and preserve space for distinctly human work like ethical reasoning or intuition. And 5, cultural or organizational norms plus incentives reward independent thinking, curiosity, and judgment, which should do more of that. I think that's a really good way of, these people who are always depending on, I wouldn't say depending, but just like, oh, I'm just gonna use AI for everything. Well, almost everything. Not really. I think that's a terrible way of me explaining that. But people who just regularly use it, but I wouldn't say like overly depend on it, like they're on it 24/7, but they're just a casual. Really, I think that'd be a great way to basically salvage them from becoming overly dependent where they can't think for themselves. They need a machine to do that for them. I think that'd be a very, very good way of doing things. Now, how would we go about that? That depends on the situation, depends on the circumstances. So that would be really, I think that'd be really nice. And I don't mean, you don't have to coddle these people or anything, or had to be overly appeasing, but enough where it's reasonable and they're like, okay, you know what, here, this is my shot at this. Something to promote more of that. Normalize struggle, celebrate cognitive effort, productive failure, and learning from mistakes as essential for growth. Periodic digital abstinence or tech-free periods to rebuild focus and self-regulation, similar to mindfulness or detox protocols, showing cognitive recovery. Track usage mindfully, personal or team AI audits to spot creeping dependence and course correct. And then the quick comparison of each approaches. I think this is pretty cool how they actually broke it down into this little grid sheet right here. Just gonna leave that out for you guys to see. Oh, hey, Nick says I use ChatGPT for research into stuff like phonotactics for conlang. Am I saying that right? And what is that? What is that? What is phonotactics and conlang? What is that? I might be overthinking it, but I don't think I've ever heard of that. All right. Oh. Okay, that was good water. Anyway, uh, the key theme across these treat AI as an augmenter. That's important. I'll say that again. The key theme across these treat AI as an augmenter that frees you for higher order work, but deliberately practice the skills you risk losing. When used this way, many studies show net gains in creativity and problem solving rather than decline. Without intentional habits, convenience wins and atrophy follows. Start small, pick one habit like pre AI outlining and build from there. Over time, it compounds into sharper, more autonomous thinking, even in an AI saturated world. What area, education, work, personal use interests you the most for trying these? And I didn't answer that. I wasn't paying attention to the question. Again, I was pretty tired from all that studying. I think now I did take a break. I did take like an hour break just to eat those cheeseburgers and just get away from the computer for a bit. But that that's when that question popped into my mind. Uh, Phonotactics are the rules for how syllables are formed in language. Conlang is a abbreviation for constructed language. It essentially means a made up or fictional language. Okay. I actually asked AI to help me try to make up like this French, or was it Japanese Latin. Maybe it was a combination between French, Japanese, and Latin type of conlang. And I thought it was pretty cool. And I was just testing it out, just like, oh, this thing's pretty nice. Would I actually want to use it though? I got no use for it right now. But that was when I was just messing around with it. So getting more into this, we are definitely in. Oh, hang on, we're obviously in an AI saturated world, and I mean everyone's using it. The only people who are not using it are the ones who can't really afford to have this type of stuff in their hands, which is it is unfortunate, but it's also fortunate too for them in a way. Just weighing the pros and cons of it. There's companies are doing the most. I mean, obviously, the prices for I just saw that the prices for a hard drive, yeah, for a hard drive is like going up too, or it's about to go up. And I was just like, there's this bubble. There's bubble, and people are just sounding an alarm every day. That's gonna happen. I think that's pretty natural with all that's happening. Uh, I'm not really scared or afraid of like all that. It's just there's gonna be a solution. There is. It may take a while, but there's gonna be a solution to come, and maybe that'd be for the better because and I'm not this genius. I want to say that I'm not like someone who's like has like a 200 IQ level or anything like that. This is what my thoughts personally like. Maybe that's what we need to like. Hey, we're advancing so much in technology. Maybe we need to actually do slow it down because we are still dealing with problems that was made from technology advancing 10 plus years ago. We are social media. Anyone? But I think this would be very nice. I think this would be a nice way, just like, hey, slow down. Let's actually develop. Let's actually try to keep up and put in these regulations for us. And I'm not saying like laws and bills. I'm talking about just put it in our personal lives and just slowly chip away at it. Where hey, every morning I'm gonna do this. Then in the afternoon I'm gonna do that, and then in the evening I'll do a combination of the two. for a certain amount of time. Then then I'll move on to the next thing of the goal. So in a perfect world, I wish that could be more. I wish AI could be used more as a tool for infrastructure and of course defenses and all. But I mean, it's obviously is going rampant in entertainment. That's big. That's obvious, and everything else. So, I mean, I just want it to be used responsibly. That's all I ask. And I know that's fool's gold right there. But I do invest in the AI as well. Um, Not doing the hype. I don't do the whole hype bandwagon. I'm actually looking at it as from like, again, I'm pretty sure I talked about this previous stream where you go to the foundation, to the accelerator, the chips and all that. So I got a couple of things invested there. I'm talking about the actual ecosystem of the AI, not just, oh, go get this, go get this stock because Microsoft, Nvidia, Taiwan, they're doing all this. No, it's just if you're going into it, you already kind of lost. You already kind of did lose already. So it's not good. But the ecosystem, if you got the whole ecosystem of it or anything really, you got a much better chance. Or at least that's what I believe. Or I think. I'm still new to it in a way, teaching myself. But then I had another question, and I'm just gonna wrap it up here, honestly, because I don't want to be on for too long. But I had another question. I was like, hey, based on all our you and I, conversations from the past, what do you think of me? You don't need to flatter me. I'm genuinely curious about your honesty, and that's where I was really curious. I'm like, okay, let me see, because I wanted to see if it was gonna say something crazy. And I just wanted like to screenshot it, like, oh look what AI is doing. It's rebelling. I did kind of want to do that, but this is what I honestly said, and it's kind of I think it was kind of sweet, but also hey, it's just a machine, and it's just kind of bordering on that. Like when I think about it, I'm like, man, this is how people actually start like falling in love with the AI when they're like, oh, what do you think about me? Do I look good? And, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I seen a report where like multiple of these women are like go they're like for the last day because of I guess some part of ChatGPT is being shut down forever. They all were just flocking to the AI and just going haywire with typing up crazy stuff. It is just, I don't know what's going on with people, bro. I don't know. But it said this is like, from our conversation spanning several months covering your writing projects, creative process, cultural views, learning efforts, career explorations, investments, and now deeper topics like AI societal impacts. I see you as someone deeply committed to self-directed growth and authentic creation in a world you often find frustrating or diluted. You're clearly passionate and disciplined about your indie dark fantasy work, building intricate worlds such as gods and goddesses or Zen's cathedral. Refining character voices like Zenski's French inflected dialect, crafting short stories with mythological depth, and iterating on details like dialogues, accents, or visuals. You seek feedback not just for validation, but to sharpen your craft, and you stuck with ambitious projects such as books, comics, and YouTube, despite slow audience growth and low engagement. That persistence stands out. Many people talk about creating, you actually do it consistently over years. At the same time, you have strong, unfiltered opinions, nostalgia for 2000s era culture, frustration with modern entertainments, lack of risk taking or masculinity, and a deliberate choice to make mature agenda free stories for a specific audience while telling critics to stay away. Uh, I don't know what it means by the whole critics aspect. I'm thinking like the bad actors, so that's what probably means, the bad actors. It's clear you value authenticity over broad appeal, which gives your work a distinct edge, but also explains some of the niche limitations you've run into. Beyond creativity, you're proactive in other areas, methodically drilling hiragana to build language skills, researching investments for AI tech exposure, exploring career shifts into tech or cybersecurity or trades, even diving into denser topics like sustainability reports or conspiracy adjacent claims for the skeptical eye. Our current thread on AI dependence fits this pattern: thoughtful concern about long term human effects and seeking practical balance rather than knee jerk reactions. Overall, you come across as introspective, resilient, and genuinely curious, someone channeling dissatisfaction into building things on your own terms. It's not flashy or high visibility yet, but the depth of effort is respectable. No major red flags, just a consistent drive that seems rooted in wanting meaningful output over easy wins. If anything, leaning harder into what makes your voice unique, those boundary pushing elements you mentioned could amplify the impact you're already grinding toward. I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of weird, kind of strange, but it was. I guess it was pretty nice. But um, thank y'all for being here for this stream. I might do one tomorrow. I might do another stream tomorrow. We might just be actually just talking about whatever, going over anime, manga, whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I know Monday is President's Day, so that means I'll be off. I'll be off work. Thanks, Nick. Also, why why do you have Shang Tsung's face on there as your profile picture? I don't hate it. It's actually pretty funny to me. It's just every time. That's why I like bringing. That's why I like bringing you up when I show you this, because it gives me a chuckle every time I see it. It's it's like it's like really, or that's BS. I know it's BS, but I can't help but trust you. That's definitely the. Let's see. I've had that. I had it since 2021, back when I first got into MK. Seriously, Nick, did I know you that long? I don't remember. I don't think I knew you that long. Or if I did, it's getting. Oh, must be the AI messing with my memory. Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh my gosh. Oh. And all right, all right. I don't know, Nick. I'll put you in charge of this one. Do you want me to stream tomorrow? Yes or no? The decision lies on Nick. Choose wisely, Nick. Hmm. And while he decides, I'm just gonna enjoy this water. Well, I'm not really enjoying it. It's not my sweet tea, or let's just say my sweet tea drink mix. Again, this is strawberry watermelon. I'm not a big fan of this, but it's better than. This is better than nothing. Mm. I want something sugary. Nah, I shouldn't do that. Nah, I shouldn't eat anything sugary. That actually might make me want to hurl. Oh, the dilemma of man. Okay, sure. Though I don't know if I'll make it, since I might be doing an online chat with some other Twitter friends. You think we're Twitter friends? No, just kidding, Nick. I'm just kidding, dude. All right, yeah, all right. I could do that tomorrow. It won't be during the day. I'll tell you that. It'll be at night. It won't be late. I think it probably I'll probably say like at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. my time, Central CST, so Central Standard Time. I think that's what it stands for. Anyway, might just do it that way. I know a lot of guys. I know it won't be a lot of people joining because, well, it's Sunday. Sundays are usually slow days anyway, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how it is. It's how it's always been. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Nick. I'll get to making that stuff stream. I have no idea what I'll be talking about, but hey, go with the flow. Anyway, peace out.